We're at the point where we're ready to expose our final plate. We've already done our test step, our test exposure test on our small plate, and we found a time that worked really well. The test plate came out really clear with all 4 of our time options. So I'm going to choose the time option that I think worked best, and we'll go ahead and get this ready to expose. So we have our transparency of film negative, and again, you can dust that if you want to make sure that none of the drawing sticks to your plate. We have our solar plate, and we're working in low light. You're going to be wearing gloves to prevent yourself from getting sensitized to any of the polymers that are in the plate. And you'll unwrap the plate, discard that black plastic, or save it for taking the plate out into the sunshine. Remember to remove that plastic layer. This is really important to not forget to do. Pull that off, and you can dust the plate, or you can dust the transparency with baby powder or talc or cornstarch, just to minimize the chance that the image may stick to the plate. Probably should not have done this on top of my plexiglass. Pull that off of there. Okay, so there's a little bit of powder on there. I just want to lightly dust it across. Try to remove the excess so that it doesn't create a blackout for the ultraviolet light. Just using a little scrap of t-shirt here to dust it off. And the piece of cardboard that I'm using as a backing board is just a little bit larger than our plate. My plate is 8 by 10, and this piece of chipboard is 9 by 12. So always remember to lay your drawing face down. This is the way I drew my image. Turn it around so you can see it. And we'll put it face down so that the paint is right against the plate. And again, you decide, my film's a little bit larger than the plate, so I need to decide what portions I want to make sure to include. So I'm going to shift my transparency a little bit to the side to make sure I get both of these figures in at the top. I want a little bit of the hat here to show, so that looks pretty good. Then we'll make sure that this is dusted. Get any extra. Plexiglass tends to be really staticky. Do make sure that you've removed the plastic film from your plexiglass. Sometimes there's a really thin layer on the backside that you don't realize is on there until you try to expose it. And we'll lay that over top. Okay, dust. Okay, then we'll clamp the whole sandwich together. Again, make sure that you're not putting the clamp on top of the solar plate. So make sure you leave yourself a little gap of space there at the edges. And do clip it as close to the plate as you can get so that it holds it in nice tight contact. If you have a few extra clips, that might be nice along the edge here. And the other thing I would suggest is when you're outside, try to keep it flat as you're exposing it so that it doesn't bow and pull loose from the transparency. You want to have it as rigid contact as possible. All right, so once you get your exposure sandwich assembled, then you'll want to cover your plate. You can, again, use the cling film that came with the solar plate if you need to. Or in this case, I've got a black t-shirt that kind of fits across the plate nicely and doesn't let light peek in from the edges. So we're ready to carry this outside. When we get outside, instead of exposing this plate in stages like we did for our step test, we'll just pull all of the fabric off at once and time it really carefully. And then when the exposure is done, just quickly cover it up again and then take it inside to develop it. Good luck.